It's a 4x6 sphere.
What's the...
Well, I'm Matt.
And I'm Carter.
And welcome to It's Kind of a Gray Area.
The only show that measures up to your expectations.
But how do we measure?
Inch by inch. Little by little.
Little by little.
Step by step.
Day by day. That's a 90s thing. So, when you go out, like when you go outside.
Yes.
Okay. And you have to take care of the thing around the house. What do you call that? You mow the what?
Meter.
No. It's a yard, because we're in America. But everywhere else it's a meter.
I don't think that's actually how that
No
works
meter.
everywhere. Yeah, but today's shade, that is good on point, because today's shade is, should America use the metric system?
Everyone else in the world does.
Yes.
I feel like even though I have been trained and learned and taught and schooled to use not the metric system. What was the other one?
What is the other one? I saw in one article they call them legacy measurements, where you go like...
We don't even know what it's called. We should definitely get rid of it.
There's a name for it. I just can't think of it. But
Yeah. Well,
yeah,
we don't.
yeah.
currently.
The thing I read called them legacy measurements because it's based off of things of like a foot or like how much a cow weighs or these things that are like passed down like as a heritage for measurement.
How much a cow weighs? That's so weird.
Well, yeah. I mean,
How much does that weigh? Like a third of a cow.
well, think about horsepower.
Ah.
Yeah, it's
got
the
me.
force required for a horse to move a cubic pound of metal 1 foot on a pulley or something like that.
Oh, that's interesting.
So I mean, that is like what not all horses have the same output. I never thought I would say that.
That's weird, but it's true. Absolutely true.
Yeah, you get a fat horse in there, or you get like a really like good horse, like a stallion. Like you're gonna have different horsepower.
And then you get a really good fat stallion, and it's just that's like a superhero.
Right. All measurements are based on weird things, though.
Yeah.
It's just the metric versions and other measurements that have been made are usually very scientific based, and then the ones that we use are usually more like visual things around us that we can tell.
Well, I mean,
like that, like, oh, that building's 3 trees tall. Like, trees come in all different sizes, but like, yeah, you know, that average tree we've got around our town, like that's the kind of tree, like we measure in terms of that.
Oh yeah, around the town.
But then, you know, other scientific measurements are just as weird, where it's like, oh, how long is a second? It's like, well, that's the amount of time it takes for this particle to decay to these 2 other particles in this sort of controlled environment with this level of gravity. It's like, okay, how about maybe just the amount of time it takes a chicken to cluck? Like, I mean, it's all based on weird, arbitrary things. It's just a matter of how precise it's been measured.
So you'd be like, I'll be there in 20 clucks.
Yeah. I mean, honestly. I mean, a foot is just literally, like, roughly the size of a foot.
Yeah, I mean, everyone knows how long a cluck lasts, so... Yeah.
Yeah.
And I gotta say, I've measured my foot, okay? And my foot...
A lot of things that could have ended with.
My foot is like 11 inches.
Okay.
But with a shoe, any one of my shoes, because I wear like
8
size...
inches. It's the weirdest thing.
It's so weird. It's like a Doctor Who situation. No, any one of my shoes is like exactly 12 inches.
Right.
Like exactly. So whenever I need to measure something kind of pretty accurate, but kind of roughly, just real quick, I'll just walk off my shoes. People laugh at me, but I'm like, yeah, that's
what most people do. When
Yeah.
you're like looking at like the size of a room or something, you'll walk it out.
Yep.
But let's get into a little bit of history here.
Go for it.
Who doesn't love history? Did you know that America does officially adopt the metric system? It is the official measurement system of the United States.
Wait, what?
But we are one of the few countries that has made that non-compulsory. So it's not required that you use the metric system, but it is set out by Congress as the preferred and to be used system of measurement by the United States government and acting parties. But again, it's not enforced.
That's so weird. Why don't we just use that?
Well, we do. We do for, international trade. We do for scientific engineering. Like, we use the metric system a lot. It's just day-to-day average Americans have not been required to adopt it as their only form of measurement, so the other ways have stuck around. But there's an interesting reason all of this happened in the first place.
Okay.
So let me take you back to 1776. That's when it happened.
Is our time machine working again?
Yeah. So we'll hop in our time machine and go back there. So end of the Revolutionary War. We're good pals with France. They helped us out. We were like, hey, these British guys, they're not cool. And the French were like, we agree. They are not cool. Croissant. So we were like, yeah, croissant. You get it.
Yeah.
So they helped us out. But then things between America and France got kind of contentious over time. We entered into a treaty with England as far as where we were allowed to trade in the world, which France didn't like. They got upset about that, so they started sending privateers, pirates, after American ships to discourage our trade between the British. So things got worse and worse and worse over time as we became more and more angry with them. They were more and more angry with us. And then in 1798, when France was unveiling the metric system to the world, they invited delegates from several countries all over the world to come. But America did not get an invitation. We were not invited to the metric party. No croissants were had by us that day.
Because we didn't measure up.
We did not measure up. Yeah, they were mad at us. They didn't want us there. But interestingly enough, Thomas Jefferson did look into a measurement system for the U.S., and he did lean towards a decimal-based system like the metric. He thought it would be too expensive and not worth it.
Okay.
So passed up on it at that point. Didn't get invited in 1798 when the rest of the world was being presented with this. So it was a very, very long time before we came around to the metric system. So the question is, should we? Should we just pull the bandage off, just grab that croissant by the bread, and just, metric it up?
I think we should. I think we just pull the trigger, like you said, and just go to metric. Like, why are we still fighting this, guys? It's now, I understand initially, John Adams was like, all right, we're going to have to, send out riders to everywhere. We're going to have to go, across the ocean to talk with France and verify. And, this is going to be, a thing.
Yeah.
Now it's just I would like to submit a request for the U.S. to go to the metric system, send to all parties. That's it. I just did it.
So there's a lot of things that would have to change, but we could do this as the push for green power sources. Yeah. We don't just overnight shut down every other source of power.
No, you couldn't do that.
No, it's just we've got more of them and more of them and more of them and less of these until you reach the point where one is just now predominant over the other. We just got to start using it more and more and more and just scale back on our system of measurement until that's just taken the spotlight.
Yeah, what you do is anything new you have on the metric system.
Right.
And then all the older stuff, when it needs updating, it just let it be as it is. And then as it needs updating, when the time's right, you update it to the metric.
Right.
And then after a decade, you're all good.
Yeah.
I think we should.
Yeah, I agree. That's my answer. For the sake of the rock, paper, scissors, I'll say no. Let's stick to these feet and not give them the satisfaction. But I think, let's just switch it over. I'm saying for the rock, paper, scissors, keep America the same.
Okay, and I'm going to say, let's just blend in with the rest of the world, guys.
Yeah.
I mean, this isn't one of those things we need to stand out about.
Yeah. We both think that we should switch to the metric.
Yes.
But when we get down to it, I've got to stand by America. I've got to do things the American way.
Which is different than the rest of the world.
Yes.
I'm going to say let's just blend in and just adopt the metric system. Why are we fighting this?
Communist.
Come on, guys. Okay, so let's figure this out for the universe.
Rock, paper, scissors, shoot.
Boom. We should adopt it.
Yeah, I guess so.
Yep.
It's the right thing to do. At the end of the day, throw away those inches, grab a couple centimeters, and pull up a chair.
Set it in your yard.
Meter.
Well, Carter, speaking of making huge life decisions, I've got one for you.
Okay.
Today's Would You Rather. I'm not about to make a big announcement of my life. Yeah, sorry.
So moving to Costa Rica.
Just settle in. So today's Would You Rather is, would you rather live your entire life from this point on, not from when you're a baby, from this point on, live your entire life in a submarine And none of these are like glamour ones, all right? Or like tiny home remodels.
You know those like glamour luxury submarines people have?
You know the ones like Pimp My Submarine? You know? Like those are great. But this isn't one of those.
There's got to be billionaires that own submarines,
Oh,
right?
heck yes.
I would take that over, well...
No, you would still have a yacht.
You're
saying a yacht, right?
Well, I would take the yacht across the ocean.
Yeah.
But I wouldn't take a submarine across the ocean. I would have a submarine in my pool. And that's it.
I would just like to say, if I'm going to cross the ocean in my yacht, I will have an arsenal on there of like rocket launchers,
Why?
Gatling gun machine guns on the deck that will like lift up.
It's actually pronounced Gitlin.
Gitlin guns?
No, it's not.
Gitlin guns.
But I would love to that be a thing you go through life saying. You know, that was invented by a doctor.
Yes. Yeah, I remember you telling me that. It
Yeah.
was to inject needles in people quicker.
Nope.
Yep. So you can vaccinate the entire army just by like them lining up.
Okay.
Tell me that wouldn't work.
It wouldn't.
Good. Now my typhoid is gone.
What was the would you rather?
Okay, I didn't even finish it. Would you rather live your entire life in a submarine?
Okay.
All right, normal one, or a hot air balloon? Just to be clear, not a Pimp My hot air balloon. It is just the basket. It's like a 6 foot, 8 foot round basket. That's it. That's your life. It's a 2.3 meter square.
Yes.
Round. Circumferenced. Basket.
You can't have a buy and a buy for a sphere. It's a 4x6 sphere.
What's the...
My brain? That's good. That's good because that is very difficult.
Right.
Yeah, so it's that size. It's enough you can lay down in it without hitting your head.
Okay. Benefits of the hot air balloon. Get to see things from up high.
Sure.
I'm afraid of heights, so kind of a downside.
So downside.
But I will say, no, because, I mean, if it starts to sink, you've kind of got a parachute a little bit.
If your hot air balloon starts to sink.
But I think those collapse. I think they collapse if you don't have the hot air in them.
Well, if your hot air balloon sinks, just start living in the submarine.
Oh, gosh. One of my biggest fears is to be in a submarine that sinks because you can't escape. There's nowhere to go. And you're way too down underwater to, like, swim up to the surface in time.
Oh, yeah. And you're just tempting those large creatures we don't know about.
Oh, gosh. Yeah, you're down there.
You're basically just a bait without a hook. Your submarine will not sink. And your hot air balloon will not sink either. So don't think about disasters.
Okay.
You guys spend your entire life putting up with the life of living in a hot air balloon or the life of living in a submarine. Which would you rather have?
Hot air balloon.
I'm going to say the same thing. I would rather see for as far as I can see than be stuck in a little gray submarine.
Yeah, I would enjoy the submarine for a while, but I think at the end of my life, I'll have enjoyed being a sky watcher.
Until you hit a storm, which you can actually go above.
Oh, that's true.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then also birds. You can make friends with birds.
That's true. I'd be the bird watcher. They'd have a lot of names for me.
Yeah.
I go from town to town, whoever I'm.
Each town has a different name for the legend of the hot air balloon that never lands, which is us.
That's a movie. That's a Hallmark movie.
Just like our hot air balloon would never land, this show never lands. Let's bring it down. So,
yeah.
Today we found out we should switch to the metric system. It's about time.
Yep.
I think we've made our peace with France at this point. We should come together over this and get started measuring things together.
Yep.
And we would both live in the sky as bird people. Well, hot air balloon people confused with bird people that watch the sky, that go by different names town to town, as the legends are told.
I would like to say, with France and us coming together, we have to at least stay 2 meters apart.
Right.
That's how it goes now.
Yes. Which means we're going to need extra large croissants to bridge that gap.
Do you bridge gaps with croissants?
If you make a 6 foot one. I mean, a 2 meter one. God, see, look at me. I'm the problem here.
It's a decade, man. It's a decade of adjusting.
Right.
We'll all get there.
Yeah. Okay, well, if you guys like today's episode, there's a lot of other ones out there about all kinds of different things. I mean, we're talking dinosaurs, robots,
Sharks.
robot dinosaurs, robot dinosaur sharks, shark,
variety.
dinosaur, robots.
Just so much variety.
All different combinations of robots, dinosaurs, and sharks. So go check out those other episodes and let us know what you think in the comments down below.
Yes, please comment down below. We love to read and respond to those. But in the meantime, remember to comment, like, and push that subscribe button so you don't miss out.
And never smoke a cigar in your hot air balloon.
Ring the notification bell.
Yield the right of way to killer whales when in your submarine.
And when the game is afoot, don't forget to pay the meter.
Sure.
Puns. And as always,
IKAGA.
Yep.
Yeah!